Well, good evening, everyone. We are back with this week's Detox Diva call, and I am so excited because we're getting on a subject that a lot of people experience, women experience for the most part. With this, we're going to be talking about menopause, but men, huge, huge thank you for you coming on so that you can kind of understand what we go through in those later times in life, and just so you have some information too, so that you're able to help people. So we are so excited to bring this one to you. So my name is Tina. I'm a wife, mom, grandma. I'm a homesteader who's passionate about helping others feel their best inside and out. And as the founder of the Detox Divas and a mindset coach, I just love to share simple ways to support your health naturally, because I know firsthand how powerful that journey can be, especially when you get to heal from the inside out. And then we have Coach Kimberly. Go ahead if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am a wife, mom of five fantastic kids. I have fur babies all over the place. There's fur all over my furniture, but that means that's home to me. I am an autism advocate. My eldest daughter, Abby, has autism, and I've learned more through her kind and loving eyes. And I say that every time, but it is the truth. I've gone to university. I have a degree in child and youth care. I have many other degrees, but that girl has taught me to see the world in a much kinder, loving way. And I am so passionate about helping others thrive, and I want to help people get their financial freedom, because that's what life is all about, is being free and enjoying those around you. I love sunflowers. They make me smile, and the ocean grounds me, and Mexico feels like home. Anywhere warm, I love. I can't wait to get going on this Zoom. It's going to be very exciting tonight.
Absolutely. So, Heart and Body Naturals, Healthy Begins Now. And with this new reset, GLP-1 reset, we are in for some major life changes for all of us in our health and our insulin and everything else. We're going to be feeling so good here in about 60, 90 days. And I'm so excited to do this journey with you. So, we like to share synergistic healing trilogy products. That was our flagship products, the healing trilogy, formulated with the healing power of plants provided by our creator. We are purpose driven, farm direct, and we have a pure plant promise. You're not going to get any synthetics around here. You're not going to get any garbage in the products. They are the top of the line ingredients, which that's mandatory. There's no second guessing. All the ingredients are top of the line, and they're pure and organic. It will get shut away if there's anything inorganic in it. And none of this would be possible without our amazing formulator, Alexandria Brighton, she's just amazing. The more I learn about her, I just love learning about Alexandria. She's been doing this for over 30 years in Ayurvedic medicine, herbalism, aromatherapy, and her journey actually began back in the 1970s. She was actually working with and studying with a cancer doctor out of Germany, I believe it was, on healing naturally. So she's had years of experience with health, especially with some pretty serious things. And she's grown into a legacy of over actually 200 therapeutic blends celebrated for their purity, safety, and results. And her collaboration with Ben and Paula, actually, I showed Paula and Ben on the previous screen, but I forgot to say their names, the CEO and her husband, Ben. But it started when Ben became very ill, and Paula reached out to Alexandria and said, "Hey, my husband is having a serious health crisis. Can you help?" And for those of you that are new to the call, welcome. And there is a website, a PDF that has got Ben's story on the healing trilogy and how that reversed Ben's symptoms within 6 weeks, and it's got the lab results to prove it. So if you've not seen that, please take a moment, and you will truly understand why we're so passionate and can't stop talking about these amazing products. So we do need to do a quick disclaimer here. This presentation is for informational and educational purposes only, and is not intended to replace the advice of a qualified certified medical professional. The Heart and Body Naturals, the presenter, Detox Divas, do not endorse, promote, or recommend any specific products, treatments, or therapies for health purposes. So please check with your doctor before starting any new plan, and do your own research. This is based on my research, And so if you do your own, you'll probably find what I found too, but it's always good to be your own advocate. So I'm going to let Coach Kimberly go ahead and start here, and then we will get rocking and rolling.
All right, well, understanding your midlife metabolism. And this one took me a long time to wrap my head around because I'm like, midlife? I'm not midlife, but I am. I'm getting there. So, metabolism isn't just about burning calories, it's a dynamic, hormone driven system that controls how your body uses food for energy, stores fat, and maintains muscle. When you were younger, and we all were there once, estrogen worked hand in hand with insulin to keep your blood sugar stable and your fat storage in check. But as estrogen levels start to fall, and even in your it can happen in your late 30s and early 40s, ladies, the relationship starts to shift. So then it creates insulin sensitivity declines, meaning your body needs more insulin to manage the same amount of sugar. Fat storage increases as I pat my stomach. It's going away, but I'm patting it for you guys, especially around the liver, pancreas, and abdominal organs. And then muscle mass starts to drop, lowering your resting metabolism even further. The result, more fat, less muscle, slower metabolism. So you're going, okay, I'm eating well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's not you, it's your slower metabolism. It's because we're not listening. And even if you haven't changed your diet or exercise habits, we got a solution for you here today.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, the insulin hormone chaos after 40, and why does belly fat show up and stick around after that age? So, during premenopause and menopause, your hormones are going to start shifting just dramatically, and insulin pays the price for that. And this crash creates this perfect storm for weight gain, mood changes. Drop it in the comments, ladies. Let me hear your mood changes, and fatigue, stubborn belly fat, which we're really going to talk about here in a second. And these aren't willpower problems. These are metabolic warning signs that you're having within your body. So it's really, really good to, thank you. Yes, brain fog. It's really good to pay attention to what your body is telling you so that you can kind of navigate what's going on and maybe make some changes in your lifestyle. And so this hormonal insulin crash is linked to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, hormonal cancers like breast cancer, ovarian cancer, sudden weight gain that feels impossible to reverse, brain fog, fatigue, and burnout. So this is why it's so important, and why this kit is just, it could truly be a lifesaver for someone. So what happens in menopause? Your estrogen is going to drop dramatically. You're going to have a progesterone decrease alongside the estrogen. Your testosterone is going to start declining slowly but steadily. And your cortisol is going to spike due to chronic stress and hormone imbalance. Can you feel all that? I know I have. And how does that affect the insulin and fat? Well, it makes the cells more insulin resistant, and it leads to belly fat gain. And then progesterone is a loss of the calming effect, increased stress, sensitivity, more cortisol back there. Lean muscle mass is going to start decreasing, and it's going to be harder to burn that fat. And then it drives the visceral fat storage, which we're going to talk about. That's big. It worsens the insulin resistance and increases cravings. But you guys, you see, you are not broken. Your body is absolutely brilliant. All of these things play together, and it's trying to protect you. And once you understand, like I said, listen to your body. Once you understand those signals, you're going to be able to support it with the right metabolic reset. Kimberly? Oh, can you not?
There we go. I couldn't unmute myself there for a moment. Why does that belly fat show up? That's a question everybody has stood there in the mirror looking, going, why? What's going on here? It isn't just about visceral fat isn't just about aesthetics. It's biologically active and dangerous. It produces inflammatory hormones called, oh, I know this one. This is the one I'm circadian. I'm gonna say
Cytokines.
Oh, I tried. Yeah, there is that one. Okay. That drives up inflammation, increases insulin resistance, and even further and strains your organs. Visceral fat is linked to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and hormonal cancers like breast and ovarian cancer. So ignoring it isn't just about vanity, it's about survival. And I've learned this being a type 2 diabetic. I've learned that it's not my fault. It is just my body is telling me it needs something different.
And that's one of the reasons that I love detoxing, is to get rid of those toxins that are stored in that fat. So how do hormones and insulin together destroy that metabolic flexibility? So we're losing our flexibility. So once the hormone insulin collision starts to happen, one of the first casualties inside the body is the metabolic flexibility, where your body's flexible in how it burns those sugars and those carbs and the fat and stuff. And so metabolic flexibility is your body's ability to easily switch between burning sugar and burning fat for fuel. And when you were younger, this switch happened almost effortlessly. Like, I did not know this until I started taking a deep dive into this whole insulin connection. But after 40, you guys, the switch gets stuck, and here's why. So the elevated insulin blocks the fat burning. Insulin is not just blood sugar hormone, it's a fat storage hormone. And when insulin is high, fat cells are locked tight, and your body literally cannot burn the stored fat for energy, no matter how little you eat. So those crash diets where you're starving yourself really don't make a difference. And low estrogen reduces the mitochondrial efficiency. We've learned that in our gut health classes that we've done on the Divas. Estrogen promotes healthy, energy efficient mitochondria, your cell's engines. And as estrogen drops, the mitochondria slows down, meaning you burn less energy even at rest. And then the high cortisol signals the fat preservation. And chronic stress tricks the body into preparing for famine. It's going to make your body think you're going into a famine. And so it's going to hold on to this. And it hoards that fat, especially the visceral fat, and breaks down muscle tissue further, damaging your metabolism. Now, are you mind blown on that little bit of information right there? Like, I am mind blown on that. So go ahead, Coach Kimberly.
I was mind blown when I read it. It's like, oh my goodness. And I had a hysterectomy in 2018 too. So things were just sped up so quick in my body. Now I'm understanding what was going on. So symptoms
Mm-hmm.
of metabolic inflexibility. Metabolic inflexibility is when your body gets stuck burning sugar and it can't switch to fat, leading to insulin resistance, weight gain, and burnout. We all know that burnout where you just get to like 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. in the day and you just can't do anymore, or you get to the middle of the week and just can't do anymore. It's because of that. So if you have constant hunger, even after eating, fatigue after meals, cravings for sugar and refined carbs, inability to lose fat despite dieting and exercising. That word dieting just irks me. It's not you. It's just we don't need to diet. We just need to listen. Weight gain, especially in that midsection, and blood sugar crashes and brain fog. And I know a lot of people just said there they have the brain fog, and I do too. I can walk into the kitchen and go, "What am I here for?" Or I'm looking for my phone and it's in my hands. There's things that just aren't processing right. So what science says, over 80% of obese adults show some sign of metabolic inflexibility, a reduced ability to switch between burning carbs and fat. Women with PCOS show severely reduced metabolic flexibility. Their cells can't shift fuel sources efficiently. And youth with a metabolically unhealthy obesity show 20% lower flexibility than those with higher metabolisms. And that shocked me. Youth, a young person can have 20% is a lot for a young person to start out being young. And, as we're aging, that's just going to progressively get worse for them. So this is not about, it's not a discipline problem. So someone says you need to eat right, you need to exercise right. It's not a discipline problem. It's a biochemical trap. And it gets worse if it gets ignored. And that's why we're all here tonight to learn, because we've ignored it. Now we're learning how to fix this, to correct it.
So there are 5 stages to this, to the hormone insulin crash. And stage 1 is the hormonal whispers. These are going to start showing up in your late 30s, early 40s. And that's estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone start to fluctuate subtly, but you're going to start noticing some changes. Blood sugar variability increases slightly, energy dips, but it's still recoverable. Most women don't really know this or blame it on aging and stress. And number 2 is the early insulin resistance at your mid 40s. So let me hear your age groups. You don't have to say exactly, you can say 1 through 5 in the comments below, but early insulin resistance, mid 40s. Cravings for carbs and sugars. You guys, I have been a carb queen for quite a while. I love carbs. Fatigue becomes common, especially after eating. Let me just edit that to say prior to this new reset. Belly fat starts to accumulate despite no major diet changes. You're going to start carrying that weight around the middles. Sleep quality starts to go down. Yep, this is often misdiagnosed as adrenal fatigue sometimes. And then you've got stage 3, where the visceral fat buildup starts happening. That's your mid to late 40s, and your waist size starts expanding, even if overall weight is stable. Inflammatory markers begin rising. Insulin levels stay elevated longer after meals. Blood sugar swings create mood swings and anxiety. And many women don't start to experience pre diabetic system symptoms without realizing it. And then you've got stage 4, which is the systematic inflammation. That's late 40s, early 50s. You've got your chronic low-grade inflammation is starting to spread throughout the body. You've got joint pain, skin issues, digestive problems, and brain fog starts to intensify. Weight loss becomes extremely difficult, and blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar readings start to worsen. And doctors may recommend medications for individual symptoms without addressing the root collision that's going on. And so they'll look at this one apple on the tree and see a bad spot and put a Band-Aid over it, when really the worm is kind of going all over all the apples and taking chunks and bites out of that. And so that's why we like to talk about root cause healing here. Then you've got stage 5, which is the metabolic damage, and that's 50s and beyond. And I see a lot of my 50s in the excuse me, in the chat. And this is when most women start to notice the weight gain, the fatigue, and the advice they often hear, like Coach Kimberly just said: eat less, exercise more, just you're not trying hard enough. And that advice fails miserably after 40 because it ignores that hormone insulin connection.
It sure does. And once you go on one med, it leads to another med, which leads to another medicine. And I tell you, like Coach Seymour, I have a box full of medicine that I've slowly been able to get myself off of because of these products. But once you start that slippery slope, because you're not fixing the issue, you're just slapping that Band-Aid on and saying, good luck. So that was a really powerful slide. So why conventional advice fails after 40? Then we just said this: eat less, exercise more, just try more, be more consistent. We've all heard you're not eating enough protein. We've heard all you need to go on a keto diet. We've heard all the things we've been told. But this advice fails miserably after 40 because it ignores the hormone insulin collision. The problem with eat less, move more is calorie restriction without insulin regulates, worsens cortisol, leading to the fat storage. Chronic cardio exercise raises cortisol further, promoting even more insulin resistance. And muscle loss accelerates when the calories are cut too harshly, damaging the metabolism even more. And I see that with a lot of my clients, and I just think that's a terrible thing to tell someone: eat less, move more. No. So why do you feel like you're starving? Because elevated insulin prevents fat burning, so your body can't store fat for energy. Blood sugar crashes from poor insulin regulation triggers primal hunger signals. It sure does. I know that low crash. I know when I need to eat, and it's a terrible feeling when I've done those diets and things. Low estrogen disrupts leptin, your fullness hormone, making it harder to feel satisfied. So the deeper truth: if insulin is not reset, no diet will work long term. Point blank. I think we could just left that Zoom right there with that one sentence. If hormones are not supported, no exercise plan will restore your metabolism. You must rebuild from the inside out, hormone by cell system. It's not you, it's your body just telling you you need to do something different to help it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the real root cause approach is embrace your healing. This is not something that's going to be one and done overnight, because it took you 40, 50, 60, 70 years to get to this point. But it's going to sure help a lot to get you on the right track. And so at this point, it's tempting to start looking for those quick fixes. And I know there's a lot in my personal circle, and I'm sure you all know someone that has done those magic diets, those injections, the pills, everything like that, more intense workout. But if you really want to stop the hormone insulin collision and heal your metabolism at the root, you've got to understand one truth first: you're not broken. You're not broken. Your body has been forced to adapt to a broken environment, And to reclaim your metabolism, your energy, and your fat burning potential, you have to stop fighting the symptoms and start repairing the terrain. And that is what I'm just so excited about this new kit. Can you tell? All right, Coach Kimberly.
Me too. This kit is going to change a lot of lives, including mine and those that we love. So this is amazing. Blood sugar um, dysregulation, the first crack in the foundation. Long before the visible fat gain or the hormone chaos, blood sugar begins to wobble. I'm like this, it reminds me of a turkey. Wobble, 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 gobble, right? So high sugar diets, even healthy hidden sugars, and there's many healthy hidden sugars. I will do a post about that for the Drink to Drop group because that will be eye-opening for you guys too. Frequent snacking without real hunger, that's that mindless eating that we do sometimes. Chronic cortisol evolution, evolution from modern stress, because I'm stumbling, guys, poor sleep, and circadian rhythm disruptions. All these create constant mini blood sugar spikes, which will force insulin to be pumped up over and over until cells start to resist it. And your body does. When your body says no more, that's when we get into our health issues. Even women who eat relatively clean can experience this if stress or sleep have not been addressed. And I know a lot of us who struggles with stress and sleep right now, and put it in the comments. So the first crack in the train is blood sugar swings and early insulin resistance.
Yep, absolutely. And so then the second crack is going to be the cellular inflammation, which is the slow burn. And as insulin resistance starts to grow within the body, the cells bathe in higher sugar levels longer than they should. And this triggers an oxidative stress, essentially a chemical that's like rusting on the inside of your body. And over time, the mitochondria becomes damaged, hormone receptors become less responsive, inflammatory signals rise throughout the body, and second crack, oxidative stress, hormonal receptor desensitization. And also at the cellular level, craving the sugar. Cancer is something that craves sugar, and parasites too. So it's really, it just kind of all ties together with everything we've learned on these calls. So go ahead, Kimberly.
With the liver and gut congestion, the blocked highway. That just cracked me up when I read that, but it's true, is the blocked highway. The liver plays a key role in hormone metabolism and blood sugar regulation. We talk about the liver a lot, how it's so important to have a healthy liver. The gut microbiomes, biomes control how efficiently nutrients and signals are sent through the body. But when toxins accumulate between its food, its environment, its chemicals, it's in water if you're not drinking correct water, it's in everything we touch and around us. We cannot avoid the toxins, but we can help our bodies get rid of those toxins. If gut bacteria is in balance, liver detox pathways are sluggish, the body loses the ability to clear excess estrogen, cortisol, and inflammatory debris. As a third crack in the train of toxicity, worsen hormones, clearance, and inflammation. And we go back to that word inflammation a lot. If you go back on any detox call or go into the groups, we talk about how inflammation is the root of all the diseases, I will say for myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And y'all, I just realized that I did not hit the record button. So the video won't be ready tonight. I'll go back through tomorrow and do up to this screen. So I'm going to start recording before I go to the next screen, and then we'll have a clean capture after this. Oh, I am recording. Okay, so I'll try to edit that out. So the fourth crack, the nervous system deregulation. So the stress switch is stuck in the on position, and chronic unresolved stress keeps the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, activated. And yeah, brain fog. Thank you, Jessica. In a stressed body, blood sugar stays higher, cravings increase, sleep crumbles, and the repair process stalls. And so that's that fourth crack in the system that is the entire issue that we're dealing with and working with this new kit.
So the GP1 dilemma, synthetic versus natural activation. And synthetic, we don't want anything synthetic going near our bodies at all. So synthetic GLP-1s is kind of like Ozempic and Wegovy. I'm not too familiar with that one, but I know metformin. I know all these ones that should not be in our bodies. And common side effects, and I can speak this from personal experience, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and constipation. Up to 50% of patients experience nausea, leading to discomfort in some cases. Serious risks. When I was looking at Ozempic, because my mother, of all people, God bless her heart, and I gave her heck, she was thinking about Ozempic until I showed her this kit that's coming out, that just came out with HBN. But I told her it had vision loss. She could have increased risk of depression and suicidal thoughts, long-term use concerns. 85% of patients discontinue within 2 years because the symptoms, and there's way more symptoms than we listed there, but the symptoms are terrible for your liver, for your heart, for any internal organ. You really want to avoid the synthetics. So the natural activation here with the GPL-1. So we're focusing on dietary approach too. We're not just saying, okay, take this and you're done. What you put in your body matters. So you want foods rich in fiber and protein, such as whole grains and nuts and eggs that can boost the GLP-1 levels. Lifestyle modifications. Regular exercise enhances the GLP-1 secretion. So it could be a walk. It could just be something as simple as going out after dinner for a 20-minute walk in that sunshine too. That will help. Herbal supplements like berberine, cumin, you know what it is? It's actually just turmeric. I had to look it up. I was like, what the heck kind of spice is that? But it's just turmeric. It's a fancy word for it. And ginseng have been shown to stimulate the GLP-1 release. So natural methods to enhance GLP-1 are effective, and it comes through without adverse side effects associated with the synthetic drugs, because what we put in our body matters, and it sure does.
So you can't patchwork the systems. We're not a quilt. If you can only treat the symptoms, the weight gain, cravings, blood sugar swings, without addressing the deeper terrain damage that's happened over your entire life of things that you've been exposed to, the chemicals and everything like that, the hormone insulin collision keeps getting worse behind the scenes. And sometimes it'll get out of control, and it'll be out of control before you even know it. And so real lasting transformation requires a terrain first approach. I've been talking a lot about terrain first and the terrain in which we feed. If you think of your body as a terrarium, you would want to keep that very well watered, moist. I'm just using that for a visual, not really like the things you put in it, but restores. So restore the terrain first, restore the blood sugar sensitivity, reverse the cellular inflammation, rebuild the liver and gut resilience, plug for the liver detox, calms and rewires the stress response symptoms, supports hormonal recalibration naturally. And otherwise, you're chasing the symptoms while the root still is untouched, even with those shots and those pills and everything else that people are putting into their body. You still have the problem of your body not functioning correctly. And you're forcing it into a state it's not ready for. So I'll do this and then you can do the next one. How about that, Kimberly? So the metabolic train reset where healing begins. All right, let me know in the comments if you are ready to do this together.
I'm ready. I can't wait. I'm so excited for it. I tell you, this is going to be game changing. We're going to see a bunch of people in 6 months from now just have a totally different body and energy level and just look fine. I just can't wait for you to do this with everyone. Look at that. That's so exciting. So the metabolic train reset, where healing begins. Then we're using the words healing again. So I want to point out some key words, right? Because we said band-aid effect. So now we have to think about healing our bodies. So you've made it this far. You know what the problem isn't, that you failed your body. That is not the problem at all. It's your body's been forced to adapt to modern stressors, modern food. Now that's a huge one. Foods that my grandparents ate or your grandparents ate is not the same as what we're eating now. Modern toxins and modern expectations. And I thought when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, social media, all the push to be skinny, all this push just not about being healthy. It's just about what social media wants us to do a lot. It's just to get skinny and small, right? But we don't realize what those kind of expectations do to us. It's not about perfection, and you're not going to see results tomorrow. So you just have to give yourself some time of grace. It's about alignment, restoring the internal environment that supports healthy hormone signals, insulin sensitivity, and metabolic flexibility. And the good news is you don't eat extreme diets. They don't work. I've been a constant yo-yo dieter all my life. I was a chubby kid. After I had 5 babies, I did all sorts of terrible, terrible things to my body. They do not work. They are short term and they do more damage than good. You don't need injections. You need targeted reset strategy that works with your biology, not against it.
So, step one, we are going to lower the insulin load daily without starving. And so, insulin resistance is like the volume dial stuck on high. And your first job is to turn the dial back down so it's soothing. But instead of white knuckling your way through this low carb extremes, your reset insulin, you reset the insulin by stabilizing the blood sugar over time. Now, again, this is not a quick fix. We want to make sure that you understand this is a lifestyle change. So you have to be willing and ready to have a lifestyle change and to have that healthy lifestyle that you see other people that are in fabulous shape, like Coach Marcus and Coach Will and Coach Seymour, you know. And so we're going to stop the blood sugar roller coaster. No more spikes, crashes, cravings, or guilt. Who has that guilt after they've eaten that tub of ice cream? We're going to focus on balanced meals that include protein, fat, fiber at each sitting. We're going to avoid naked carbs, fruit, crackers, juice, etc. by themselves. That spike city right there. We're going to incorporate short walks after meals. Just 10 minutes significantly improves the insulin response. Just a quick little 10-minute walk. I mean, me, it's 10 minutes to my mailbox nowadays, but and we're going to support the insulin pathways with targeted botanicals and minerals. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. This is not about slashing calories. It's about training your metabolism to be more responsive again. Think about a bodybuilder. They don't start just lifting weights and they're on a stage lifting, 1,000 pounds. I don't know what the record is, but they work their way up to it. Kimberly?
Step two, heal your liver and gut. Wow, we just keep coming back to that. Do you see the importance of that? The hormone and the sugar filters. Your liver is responsible for over 500 functions, and two of the most important are breaking down and removing excess hormones and regulating blood sugars through storage and release. When your liver is sluggish, toxic, or inflamed, it cannot support the hormone balance and metabolic recovery. And when your gut is imbalanced, and I've had an imbalanced gut and it does not feel good, it affects everything from insulin response to neurotransmitter production, like serotonin and dopamine. Think about this. It's like unclogging the pipes before turning the faucet back on. If your train is congested, no healing strategy can take root. And like Coach Tina was talking, we do have different ways, different recipes of pairing food because of the way you eat your food, how fast you eat your food. We're going to give you guys all the strategies so you are successful with this.
Yep. So we're going to calm the nervous system. Wouldn't that feel good? And if you don't do that, nothing else is going to work. So you cannot out supplement a stressed out system. If your brain and body are constantly in survival mode, you will continue to store fat instead of burn it, crave sugar, salt, and caffeine, wake up tired or go to bed wired, and resist every attempt to reset. But the nervous system repairs looks like this. Daily stress offloading practices like breath work, journaling, walks, sunlight. I mean, that's so important to get that sunlight. Using adaptogens, which we have, to buffer the stress response, reclaiming sleep because no one heals in a state of sleep debt, and supporting the circadian rhythm with light, timing, and minerals. There's my little plug for Fulwick. And this is the part of almost every this is the part that almost every weight loss plan skips, but it's the non-negotiable for women after 40. And if your brain does not feel safe, your body will keep the weight. So we have to, mind, body, soul. And we have to find a way to heal that mind, heal that trauma, and work through that too. So we're just going to be these beautiful, happy people running around skipping, picking daisies by the time we're done with this.
I'll be picking sunflowers. And yes, Charlotte, it is for skinny folks too. Yeah, this is just about taking care of your body and giving it the nutrients that your body needs. So reactivate metabolic signals instead of forcing fat loss. And we do force it. It's just the way society has taught us. think we got to force this weight off of us. Our bodies, if we're doing the right thing for it, it will just release the weight and get our livers and everything healthy. So once blood sugar is stable, inflammation is lowered, the liver and gut are open, and stress is managed. And I know you guys in this world, we need our stress managed. I know a lot of us deal with the high stress. Your body can finally hear its own signals again. This is where you stop pushing it for the fat loss and start allowing it. Your metabolism isn't something you beat into submission. It sure the heck isn't. I've tried so many years. It wins. Trust me, it wins, and it makes you pay dearly for forcing it. It's something that you coax back into your life by honoring your biology. We need to honor our bodies. Our bodies are something so special and precious. This includes building muscle to increase insulin sensitivity, supporting, Tina, can you say that word for me?
Mitochondrial.
Thank you. Health for energy and fat burning, increasing the GLP naturally, a powerful metabolic signal we will be talking about soon, rebalancing estrogen, uh, progesterone, and testosterone through root support, not synthetic overrides. Your body is always listening. When you give it what it needs, it starts doing what it was designed to do.
Absolutely. So, what is the metabolic terrain reset? It's not a diet, it's not a challenge, it's not a quick fix. It's a step by step realignment of the systems controlling your metabolism, the hormones, the insulin, the nervous system, detox and elimination pathways. So we'll be doing more liver cleanses too, of course, because that's important as well. But it's a return to metabolic intelligence within the body. And it's not punishment, it's not restriction, it's not pushing harder, you're not doing good enough. And when you build your foundation the right way, much like any business, the rest begins to unfold naturally. So you don't have to fight your body anymore. You just get to partner with it. And that's the tools and the keys that Paula and Alexandria have given to us.
It's all about mindset, changing the ways that we have viewed our bodies and the way we're supposed to do things. And I think this is the right way to do. And I know once we start going into this, you guys start seeing some results and seeing people with results, it's just going to get easier and easier and easier to work with your body, not against it. So for the GLP pathway, your body's forgotten fat burning signal. If hormone insulin crashes after 40 feels like your metabolism broke, the GLP-1 is a signal your body was meant to, it is the signal your body uses when it wants to repair and regulate itself. And chances are nobody told you that. Nobody told me that after all those years of yo-yo dieting and starving myself and only eating fruit. And I did terrible things before I came to this company and learned how to heal my body. So what is the GLP-1? It is a powerful natural hormone produced in your gut. It is released in response to food, and its job is to regulate blood sugars after meals, slow down stomach emptying so you feel full longer. It takes you 20 minutes for your body to register to your brain that you are full. So think about that. I did a post today about mindful eating. Just slow down too, and that will help as well. Tell your brain you're satisfied. It boosts insulin secretion when needed without causing crashes, decreases glucagon, which is other words blood spike sugar, and promotes fat burning, not fat storing. In other words, GLP-1 is your body's built-in blood sugar is your body's built-in blood sugar, appetite, and fat storage manager. When your GLP-1 is working, you will feel full faster and longer. Cravings disappear. No more sneaking in that freezer for that ice cream or those chips in the cupboard. Blood sugar stays smooth and steady. Fat is burned for more easily, for more energy, and your metabolism hums without you forcing it. It becomes your best friend and not something that you think, I really don't like my metabolism. It's sluggish. It's not working for me. It is your friend and it will work with you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. So, why does the GLP-1 decline after 40? And so, this is the same hormonal shifts that trigger the insulin collision also impact the GLP-1. And so, estrogen helps stimulate the GLP-1 release. And as estrogen drops, the GLP-1 production slows. And then you've got the chronic blood sugar spikes that damage the cells in your gut that produce the GLP-1, the high cortisol from the stress suppresses the GLP-1 sensitivity, and poor gut health and microbiome, take your fulvic, imbalance decreases the GLP-1 signaling. And the result is, even if you eat well, your body cannot produce enough GLP-1 naturally. So the blood sugar control, appetite regulation, and the fat burning signals just completely disintegrate, fall apart. And so this silent cascade, when the GLP-1 is low, your blood sugar spikes higher and stays elevated. The insulin has to work harder. You feel hungry soon after eating. The fat burning drops dramatically, and the visceral fat begins to accumulate faster. And this is not, again, about weight. This is about triggering the entire downward spiral, a spiral of the metabolic damage.
And Big Pharma noticed and weaponized it. They sure did. They put some nasty things out there, things like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Metformin, go on and on and on. There's all, and they all come in different names, right? But don't be fooled by the name. It's all basically the same thing you're doing. I think the worst, though, has to be the Ozempic, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion from my own research. But these are the GLP-1 antagonists, synthetic chemicals designed to mimic GLP-1 in the body. They were initially created for diabetics, and now they've been pushed aggressively for weight loss, but they come with a long list of side effects: nausea, vomiting, muscle loss, um, paralysis, and more. Have you seen for the Ozempic the droopy face? For a lot of the celebrities use it now. They got the real, I think John Goodman, and I'm a big fan of his, but he's got that droopy face, and that's from the Ozempic. They do not heal your body terrain. They artificially override it. They create dependency. Your body stops making natural GLP-1 when you force it with drugs. So the bottom line, you cannot hijack your way back to health. And if you don't rebuild the internal system, that GLP-1 naturally, the collision will continue, even if the symptoms are temporarily masked. Because trust me, once you stop these medications, if you have not corrected the why, the root reason, you will have these issues the moment, if not worse, because your body's been telling you other signals it needs, and it'll come back 10 times fold.
I was thinking when you were talking, Coach Kimberly, about I would love to see, and if one of you find the information, go ahead and share it. But I would love to see how much these companies were making before the pharmaceutical industry started pushing them for weight loss, and to see the massive growth in income that those pharmaceutical companies have had just because they said, oh, it's good for weight loss too. Let's really do some advertising on that. So
what they charge people too is astronomical. I couldn't believe, like I said before, I spoke to my mom. She's now not going to, but it was $400 for a month's supply plus the consultation plus. It was going to run about $800 a month to get going on Ozempic, and I said it was going to hurt her body. So you have to think about that as well. Our products are cost effective. They are going to help you get to the root cause, and they're not going to mask it, and they're not going to break your bank account either.
yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, but here's the big part that Big Pharma doesn't want you to know. You can actually activate your GLP-1 naturally without injections, without side effects, and without synthetic hijacking. And the body already knows how to repair itself. We've talked about that on almost every Diva call. You just need to give it the tools it needs in order to repair itself. And this is exactly why we've created the Reset Revolution. And it's a simple, powerful, real world system that supports your blood sugar stability, your hormone balance, your metabolic repair, and a full body fat loss from the inside out.
So introducing our Reset Revolution, the 3-step GLP-1 activation system. Now this is my jam, you guys. I love these products. It is a simple daily system that works with your body to balance blood sugars naturally. No crashes, no meds. Reactivate your GLP-1 signal with real metabolic switch. Reboot your liver, gut, and hormone terrain. Burn toxic visceral fat. Oh, I love that one. Regulate appetite and energy. Oh, I need more energy. I love it. These products are helping with that without starving. And as a foodie, I love food. I don't want to starve, and I know you guys don't want to starve either. Food's huge in our society. Supports adrenal function and mood balance. It is not a weight loss gimmick. And this is what I love about this system. It is a full metabolic repair protocol because we're not trying to shrink your body. We're trying to rebuild your health from the root out. Because without our health, you guys, we have nothing. And this system is just going to rock your health right back. We're all going to be feeling like we're 20 and 30 again. In our 20s and 30s, we're just going to be walking out and looking fine.
If you guys can see the chat, who shared that? Tara shared in the chat. Tara, if you wouldn't mind sharing that in the Drink to Drop group later, that would be fantastic, just so people can kind of see. So the reset kit, we talked about that last week. If you've not seen the replay on that, if you weren't on live, we packed the house last time. We had over 100 people on that call last week with Coach Will and Coach Marcus and Coach Kimberly introducing the products. So watch that so you can kind of get an in-depth, but we really wanted to dial in on the hormones, the metabolic reset, the menopause, and kind of run with that this week for our education. So that kit is available in your back office and is shipping almost same day now that they got all caught up. So you should get that. And when you buy that kit, if you've ordered it on your auto ship, if you've been here for a while, or if you're a brand new customer and never created an account before, grapefruit, pink grapefruit is the product of the month for Heart and Body Naturals. And so when you order your GLP-1 reset kit, you're going to get this pink grapefruit essential oil with it as a thank you gift just for being here. Like everything is all about gratitude. And so research, studies, and findings on pink grapefruit, what a brilliant accompaniment for this product launch, is a study published by the Journal of Phytotherapy Research investigated the effects of grapefruit essential oil on weight management. The research indicated the inhalation of grapefruit oil could help reduce appetite and increase fat breakdown, which supports the weight loss and management. Another study highlighted the compound nootkatone found in grapefruit, and that's been shown to stimulate the AMP activation protein, the AMPK, in the liver and skeletal muscles, which plays a key role in boosting the metabolism. And then research from the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry demonstrated that essential oil components of grapefruit, including limonene and mycrene, have properties that may help in dissolving the fat and reducing the water retention by enhancing the body's natural detoxification. How cool is that? Yeah, Megan was sharing a recipe that she made with her grapefruit oil earlier. That was pretty incredible. So then with Go to Sauna, our sister company, I always like to give them a little plug on the Detox Diva call. Sometimes we'll do a full-blown Go to Sauna, but we've really been focusing on the HBN. So you have a choice right here. This is like a subscription box. Everybody loves a subscription box, and every month it changes. And these are the two kits that are my favorites this month with Go to Sauna, especially that Bug Protect. I don't know if you guys have used that Bug Protect before, but that alone is an amazing thing. But in that kit, you're going to get the Seasons of Success oil, which is personal power, very cinnamony, lovely, that it's got a daily intention that comes with it. Myrrh and sandalwood deodorant, cassie and cloves soap, fresh tooth powder, love the tooth powder, blood orange essential oil, personal power essential oil bed, and then the Bug Protect. And then there's the oil. So that's the So Fresh So Clean. The one on the right is the oil of the month club, which is the same subscription box, just a different side of it. And you get the blood orange, the personal power, the Be Intuitive, which is great. And then you also get Afterbite. Afterbite is excellent for an after bite. So you have those choices also with Go to Sauna if you'd like a little add-on there. So directly following this call in about 10 minutes, Coach Marcus is going to be going live on his Zoom, One Team, One Dream Hangout.com. If sharing these products is something that you would like to do, if maybe you want to do it just through this, maybe you want to do it as a hobby, maybe you want to do it part-time, maybe you want to do it full-time, whatever your desire is, you're welcome here because we can't heal the world alone. And so every little person we get talking about this is helpful. So if you're interested in learning more about that, hop on Coach Marcus's call directly after this and just learn why we're so passionate. Because when you give, you receive, right? And so when we give, we help people, then we also earn a little bit of money from that. So Coach Marcus is going to go over those details after. And okay, good. I stopped share. So anyway, again, my name is Tina Hewerman. If you missed it, I will have the replay available on my YouTube channel and in the testimony group. We thank you so much for always being a part of the Detox Diva calls. Thank you for being here tonight. Let's go heal the world and let's help these women that are suffering with these menopausal issues. So, thank you. Thank you. Have a great night. We love you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, everyone. Thank you.